This is, without a shadow of a doubt, the strangest thing I have ever done. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Caitlin, or Astro Boy if you're new, and welcome to the first episode of the GIELINOR RISES campaign. Now, you may have heard of GIELINOR before, and you may have heard of Varrock before, but if you have and you're not entirely sure what it's from, or you've never heard of it before, this is the world that old school RuneScape takes place on. This is going to be a very wacky campaign. Here we have the Varrockian Empire, and as you can see, we've got some just truly wild things going on. We have Divine Empire and a bunch of other traits, and as you can see where the biography usually is, we have biography didn't fit because I have a 5-paragraph biography. I will be reading that off, and it will be in the description down below in case you want to read it for yourself. Now, even though this is based on old school RuneScape, even if you didn't play old school RuneScape or any of the RuneScape games, you will be able to follow along. We're going to click at it and we're going to go through everything one at a time. So species and portrait, I chose humanoid, obviously. Government and ethics, this is the interesting part because I wasn't entirely sure what to choose here, but I'm going to go through these one at a time. So we have ethics, authoritarian. A strong guiding hand is essential to the success of any civilization. The alternative would be anarchy and chaos. It is the duty of the state to steer its citizens towards the path that are the most productive. Spiritualist. There are those who think it behooves them to remember how tiny we are, how pointless our lives are in this vast, uncaring universe. What nonsense. The only truth we can ever know is that of our own existence. The universe, in all of its apparent glory, is but a dream we all happen to share. And militarist. The only true virtues are courage and discipline, and channeled properly, they can overcome any obstacle. Therein lies true strength, force withheld, a promise made. So we chose imperialist for our succession as well. Imperial governments are similar to dictatorial ones, except the throne is always inherited by a designated successor upon the ruler's death. And for our civic picks, we chose imperial cult. The society has a dominant state religion where the ruler is worshipped as a living deity. And efficient bureaucracy. This society is renowned for its efficiency. Not only do the mag trains run on time, but the colossal bureaucratic apparatus required to run an interstellar nation has been greatly streamlined. Now, if you know anything about old school RuneScape, a lot of this probably looks weird to you. I will be coming back to this, but for now we're going to move on. Origin, I chose on the shoulders of giants. This civilization has hidden boons in their solar system, placed there by a distant past, by a mysterious benefactor. So home system, ex-gravitas archaeology site related to a mysterious benefactor, and precursor event chains are blocked until this mystery is solved. Traits, we have organic, you just always get that whenever you choose a human. Intelligent, this species is highly intelligent and enjoys faster technological process. Traditional, certain aspects of the species' cognition make it predisposed towards historical precedents and the value of collective unity. Thrifty, this species is instinctively economical and is always looking to make a good profit, whatever corners need cutting. And then for the negatives, we chose deviants. These people are rebellious in nature and constantly try to challenge the status quo. And unruly. Unruly species are difficult to manage and organize. They do not like being told what to do and are often quarrelsome or questioning. For the nameless, we chose humans SQPR. It's not a great fit, but it's honestly the best one that we had. And honestly, I just realized that we don't have a ship prefix. So I'm going to choose VRS for Varrockian Royal Ship. And then for Empire and species name, we have Varrockian for the species and the Varrockian Empire for our Empire name. And obviously, biography didn't fit, so we'll come back to that as well. Homeworld, we chose Continental, and we chose the basic one. The homeworld name is GIELINOR, because that's the name of the actual world in Old School RuneScape, and the star name is Jazz. That is related to the gods in Old School RuneScape. There's not actually a name of the star in Old School RuneScape, so I just chose the best one that I thought fit. Next, we have the authoritarian advisor voice. I wanted to choose original again, but honestly, I think authoritarian does work out. I'm not going to play it here. You'll hear it later in the series, but I just wanted to show that this is the one we chose. This is our flag, and I will come back to why this is our flag in a little bit. Our city and room. The city we chose was Machine, because I will explain that in a little bit as well. And the room color, I will explain in a little bit as well. You won't really be able to understand any of that until I read the biography, but we will come back to it. The ship set I chose is humanoid. I really don't like the look of the humanoid ships. I think that they look really freaking weird. I almost always go mammalian or reptilian, but I did decide to go humanoid in this case. Ruler appearance. Our ruler is Hadrian Ralden. He is the Saradominian Emperor, and this is also the Saradominian Empress. It just didn't fit. The heir title is Crown Prince and Crown Princess, and this is the design. Didn't put a biography for this. I just didn't have time when I was creating it. And next, we have one trait, and that is logistic understanding. This leader is well aware of the importance of properly structured supply chains. Now, in old school RuneScape, before I read the biography, Varrock is part of an empire called the Kingdom of Misthalin. It's one of the human kingdoms in old school RuneScape on the world of GIELINOR. So if you're familiar with that, you may be wondering why there's a Varrockian Empire, since Varrock is a city that already exists within another kingdom. This is going off of the assumption that Varrock gained their independence through relatively peaceful means. And now, I'm going to read the biography. Again, this will also be in the description down below, in case you want to read along. For centuries, Varrock stood as one of the greatest cities in GIELINOR, a center of government, scholarship, religion, and commerce. Its peaceful separation from the Kingdom of Misthalin began a new chapter in its history. Protected by a respected crown and enriched by the Grand Exchange, the independent city gradually extended its influence over the surrounding lands. Most cities entered Varrock's growing sphere without conquest. Access to its markets, currency, transportation networks, and defensive alliances brought prosperity, but also dependence. Local rulers who accepted Varrockian law retained their titles and traditions beneath the authority of the crown. Those who threatened the emerging order were defeated in a smaller number of swift and carefully justified wars. Over the following centuries, a collection of treaties became a confederation, the confederation became a kingdom, and the kingdom became an empire encompassing GIELINOR. Saradominism emerged as its principal faith, teaching that wisdom, law, and disciplined government protected mortal civilization from chaos. The Varrockian monarch came to be regarded as Saradomin's foremost temporal representative and trusted with maintaining peace among the many peoples of the world. The Grand Exchange remains one of the Empire's most powerful institutions, but it does not rule. Wealth serves the crown. The crown serves the ordered civilization of GIELINOR, and that civilization is expected to uphold the light and wisdom of Saradomin. Now, ancient discoveries have carried the Varrockians beyond their world. Beneath GIELINOR cities lie the remains of forgotten empires, divine wars, and powers older than recorded history. As Varrockian vessels cross the interstellar void, the Empire intends to bring law, knowledge, and sacred order to a galaxy it believes has remained divided for far too long. Now, if that confuses you and you want to know more about the lore of Old School RuneScape, I'm just going to put a link to Old School RuneScape in the description down below, as well as its wiki, because I really love Old School RuneScape and it has a ton of lore. But basically, Saradomin was one of the most popular gods with humanity, and they were basically the god of balance and order. They're not necessarily a purely good deity, but they're a deity focused on keeping everything stable. And that is who we worship. So now that I've gone over that, we can revisit a few things. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to make sure we've talked about everything. So the civics I'm going to talk about first. Imperial cult. Now, the way that this usually works is that the leader of the empire is treated as a god. I'm putting my own spin on this. So the leader of our empire is Hadrian Ralden. He is not the empire's god. However, he is basically the representative of that god. All the decisions that he makes are in service to what he believes Saradomin, the god of balance, which the Varrockian Empire worships, would want him to do. He is effectively the spokesperson of a god that is basically laissez-faire. He doesn't interfere with the state of the world. An efficient bureaucracy, this just doesn't really need to be explained. They're traditionalist people. It is what it is. What I will explain is my ethics. Now, the reason I didn't take xenophilic is because we're not necessarily xenophobic, but we're not xenophilic either. In the world of GIELINOR, there's many bad races. There's demons, goblins, hobgoblins. You get the point. But there's also humans, dwarves, elves, and other races that are good and assisted the humans. GIELINOR has seen a lot of good races and a lot of bad races. So there's not necessarily any reason for them to be racist upon first contact with any alien civilization, or I guess xenophobic is the proper word, but there's also no reason for them to be open arms as well. We didn't take pacifist and we took militarist because in old school RuneScape, all of the kingdoms are very militarist. That's just the way that it is. And as I said before in the biography, although Varrock didn't see much conflict, it did see some. And it was a justifiable reason to gain more land and notoriety. So we are a militarist society. Now that being said, this is not going to be a murder hobo campaign. We're not going to be attacking every other empire that we see. If we see just purely evil empires, then war may be inevitable. However, that doesn't mean that war is going to be our first option. I didn't choose egalitarian because Varrock is still ruled as an empire. It still has a hereditary bloodline. So the emperor is currently Hadrian Roldan, and his son or daughter will be the next in line to the throne. I didn't think egalitarian would really work here. I like being democratic more than anything else, but democracy does not work with this kind of civilization. And I didn't choose materialist because materialist, how do I explain this? We're not necessarily anti-materialist. We're not Luddites or anything. But we do put value in the god more than we put into actual research and progression. Everybody reveres Saradomin, as a lot of people revere Jesus Christ in our own world today. So yeah, we are I'm forgetting the name, we are a spiritualist empire. And that should cover all 4 of those. Now if we go next, the reason I chose On the Shoulders of Giants, the way that I'm working this is basically as if Saradomin, our god, left something in our solar system for us to find and investigate. And that's really the main reason I chose On the Shoulders of Giants. I like prosperous unification, and that's what we chose last time, but that didn't really work for what I was going for, because it wasn't like everybody came together and they were like, oh, we should all just form a global empire. And I didn't want to choose the one where it was like the Varrockian Empire basically fought everybody else and came out on top, because that just seemed a little too dark and a little unrealistic as well. Moving on, I did choose these traits, intelligent and thrifty. The reason I chose thrifty was because of the Grand Exchange. It's basically a huge trade market, and it is the global trade market in old school RuneScape, so I thought that this just made sense. Intelligent, humans have to be intelligent to be a spacefaring race. I mean, I can't really explain it any better than that. And traditional, we're an empire. We're based on religion and unity and basically monarchism. So yeah, I did choose traditional. I chose deviance because there's a lot of evil in the world of GIELINOR. Obviously, demons, there's necromancy as well, and there's worship of evil gods. Like, I can't remember the name of him, but there is an evil god in old school RuneScape. And unruly, even though Varrock is the leading government body and there's only one empire on the world of GIELINOR now, we did get some empires under our belt through war. We did get some through spycraft, basically. We did everything we could to keep from going to war with other races, but sometimes it was unavoidable, or not other races, other kingdoms. So yeah, I chose unruly because not everybody under us is necessarily happy about being under us. And this is gonna suck because empire size from Pops It's going to be fine in the beginning, but it's going to be hell later on. I've already explained the name list. The reason I chose Varrockian instead of just like human or GIELINOR is because I feel like Varrock would be one of those kinds of empires which would, I wouldn't say they would necessarily break their arms jerking themselves off, but I would say that they would definitely be the kind of people to, you know, take that initiative, basically for bragging rights. You know, we are the main empire and the only empire on this planet, so we might as well change everything to fit us. So instead of being the GIELINOR Empire, it's the Varrockian Empire. Instead of being human or GIELINOR, it's Varrockian. I did choose continental because, yeah, it's not a Gaia world, there are different continents, but it's mostly temperate. I've explained the star name already. Advisor voice, I've explained that. Now, the flag. So the symbol of Saradomin is actually a 4-pointed star, and this was the best that I could do with that. The religion colors are blue, white, and gold. So what I did was the primary color was blue, like a deep blue, and then the secondary color was a gold, and the emblem is gold as well. Next, I did choose this room because brown and white are different colors of Varrock itself, not necessarily of the Saradomin faith, but of Varrock, and I feel like this fits. And the reason I chose the city of Machine World, or Machine City, is just, I really couldn't think of anything else that really fit. Cybernetic City definitely doesn't fit. Humanoid City just looks weird. Mammalian City looks a little too technologically advanced compared to what we are, and so does Reptilian City as well. I really like Mammalian and Reptilian, but I feel like Machine City gives a little more of like a spiritualist vibe, if that makes sense. So this is the one I went with. Ship sets, I really just thought this was the one that was the most fitting. I think it's gross, but it is what it is. And the ruler appearance, now you know why I chose Saradominian Emperor and Saradominian Empress, because they are the representative of the Saradomin faith. They're basically the first speaker of that god, since that god is absent. And the reason I chose this clothing style is because white is both, it's somewhat part of the Saradomin faith, but it's mostly part of Varrock. So that fits. And I chose logistic understanding just because I thought it was the most fitting. But now that we have gone through almost 20 minutes of yap, I am going to get the game started. Again, the biography for this will be in the description, as well as the link to Old School RuneScape and Old School RuneScape's wiki. But without any further ado, let's get started. And here we are. Welcome to the world of GIELINOR. So now we have to set up everything as usual. So we are going to go ahead and set up our researches. I'm going to do 0G laboratories. Doctor Fleet Support could be really good. Societal Unification, I'm actually going to put off for as long as possible. Not because it's not good. It actually is good. But for the roleplay reason of just not everybody in GIELINOR coexisting as of right now, I'm going to put that off for as long as I possibly can. So we're going to do Doctrine Fleet Support, and we are going to do Powered Exoskeletons to make our workers more efficient, as well as army damage not really hurting. We do have one world nearby. It is a continental world, Padigitoron 2. Okay, that's a name. We are going to send our science ship over here and survey, and we're going to send the military fleet with it as well. And if I'm not mistaken, we should have an archaeological dig site somewhere. Is it in the situation log? It is not. I don't know if that's going to show up later, but as of right now, it is indeed not showing up unless I'm missing something. We do have 2 engineering research, 3 energy credits, and 3 trade that need to be built up. I'm going to go ahead and we are going to build a science ship as well as a construction ship. And I'm going to send a science ship up in... Actually, you know what? Yeah, we're going to send one up in this direction. I'm going to move as close to the center of the galaxy as I possibly can. And we're going to go from there. Empire focus, we can choose exploration, conquest, or development. I am going to choose exploration. I usually do development, but I think exploration would be more fitting roleplay-wise. And I will bump the speed up to max, and we will get started. See if we see anything. There it is. Archaeological site discovered. That's what I was looking for. A string of strange anomaly readings is emanating from the surface of Caledonia. We need to launch a surface excursion to find out more. So I am going to wait until that second science ship gets built. Then I'm going to assign a scientist to that. Hopefully one with archaeology. And then I'm going to send them to look at this planet. Or is that a moon? Not entirely sure. So we'll dismiss that. We'll dismiss that. Crown Prince Lucius is the new heir to our empire and will take the throne when our current ruler dies. So is he 0 years old? I'm not entirely sure how to check that. For the kind of empire that this is. Let's take a gander through here. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. There we go. Lucius, the Crown Prince. He is... click to rename leader. I can't actually see how old he is. Okay, that's a little annoying. I was hoping it would just be there, but nope. Oh well. It is what it is. We'll come back to that later. We do have an idle leader, who is our Crown Prince, and you know what? Oh, he's age 21. There we go. And you are 37, which means you gave birth to him when you were 16. You gave birth to him when you were 16. I like talking without thinking. But anyways, somebody has some explaining to do. So what we're going to do is, we're going to put Lucius as the leader of this fleet. And then honestly, I'm going to kick Medius Corellius out. Sorry, I just can't afford you right now. Especially not without prosperous unification. And Lucius will be the Minister of Defense as well. Contact reports remnants. The Varrockian Empire is abuzz with news of the alien remnants that were recently studied. These remains are considered definitive proof of intelligent, purposeful alien activity at some point in the past. We may still be alone now, but we are at least not the first to be so. We could say we are one with the cosmos, so we get automated colony ships. Prepare to confront potential threats, we get doctrine space combat. Or our dominance must be asserted, and we get administrative AI. I'm going to say we are one with the cosmos. Automated colony ships is going to be very helpful for the early game, so we'll get started on that. Contact report, Leviathan. News of a giant being seen in the dark void of space is spreading across the Empire like a plague. I'm not sure where we saw that, but okay, continue. There is concern and optimistic wonder, but mostly brings an existential dread to the populace. Historical documents will record this day as one of the tremendous importance. So we can say fiends to test our faith or proof of the divine. I'm going to say proof of the divine. Okay, we are going to assign a researcher to you. We don't have anything good for an archaeologist, unfortunately. I wonder what you have. You have adaptable. Okay, none of these are really that great. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hire... we're going to hire Sertor Salvius. And I'm going to put him on this archaeological site. Oh, he does have a level up as well. That's good for counselor. Agrarian upbringing. Wow, none of these are that great. I guess I'll do meticulous too. And I will put you to start surveying the archaeological site. Thank you, thank you. And now we will resume the timer. We're going to be doing a lot of yap in the very beginning, because as you can see, the timer in the beginning just... so we'll be keeping an eye on that. But as of right now, there's not really much to do. Alright, we will be getting a colony ship as soon as possible, though. But right now, we can hold off on that. Not too important. Let's start building up our basic goods. Let's sell off our energy credits and our food. This is always good to do in the beginning. I'm not going to sell the consumer goods or alloys, though. There we go. Boom, boom. And we will build onto that as we can. And we have our first tradition. So the first tradition, I'm not entirely sure what I want to take here. We could do expansion and discovery. What I did in the last campaign, I didn't want my empire size to be too big. However, with the kind of playthrough we're doing, I think we would want a larger empire. So you know what? I think we're going to do expansion to start off with. We'll go ahead and do that. And we've looked at these in the last, in the last season. I will look at them again, but there's going to be a few things that I'm not going to spend too much time on. If you don't like that change, just let me know in the comment section and I'll mix it up. But for now, I'm going to skip the absolute just unnecessary things that don't need to be read, and I'll read the rest. Of course, again, as I did in the last season, I will be reading every major and minor event at least once. Alright, let's go ahead and start the timer once again. And we do have some blockers on our planet. We have 2 industrial wastelands and a sprawling slum. So we will take care of those later, but as of right now, there's just no point. And we have already finished surveying Pagitoron. So this planet is 80% habitable. It's a Boreal world and a Sakura world. Not entirely sure why it's 2 different world types, but okay. 80% habitable kind of blows chunks. But it is a good size, so it is what it is. We are going to start heading... Actually, we're going to head in this direction. Go ahead and survey that world, and we should have another construction ship. We do indeed. Go ahead and build a starbase here, and then for you, you can start building the research station and the mining stations here. I'll come back to that. We can get our first tradition. So we have Reach for the Stars, which gives starbase influence cost, and Colonization Fever, which gives colony development speed and urban districts when establishing colonies +1. We're going to take that one first, because we will be getting our first colony soon. There's another habitable world here, but this one's a sterile world, so we probably won't be inhabiting it anytime soon. We got Infinite Opportunities, which gives Citizen Pop happiness. Honestly, really bad, but just go ahead and get it out of the way. So we have a higher purpose. In our faith, we must find comfort, purpose, and direction. This gives Citizen Pop happiness, which is meh, but it gives Citizen Ethics attraction, as well as 50 unity per 100 scientists. We have Display of Power, max influence from power projection, war exhaustion gain, and militarist ethics attraction. Evolving Society, which is a lot of monthly unity. Expand the Council, which gives another counselor slot. Preserve the Order, worker pop resource output, authoritarian ethics attraction, job efficiency for slaves, slave political power, and worker political power. Reorganize the Council, which allows reselection of unlocked council positions, and superior infrastructure for colony development speed. I think we are going to take... That's a really good question. I think what we're going to take is we are going to take Evolving Society. We're going to get as much unity as we possibly can to get our traditions maxed out in the very early game as much as possible. I honestly feel like the other one wouldn't be nearly as effective. This one would be better. Let's go ahead and... Let's go ahead and build those mining stations. Lucia Canulea can be leveled up. We have Archaeologist. Of course she can get Archaeologist now that the other guy is doing the archaeology. Or we can do Survey Speed and Sublight Speed. I will take that. Thank you, thank you. Survey... Oh my god. I'm trying to pause and it didn't let me. Okay. Survey the stars. For millennia, we have looked at the stars trying to understand them, but they were always beyond our reach. Now we finally have the technology to do so. Some of our best scientists are eager to go on an expedition to examine the stellar bodies up close. They have already prepared a list of nearby stars of different types that would be best targets to study. So we could say very thoughtful, let's see that list. Or, our best scientists have other important things to do and we get some influence. I'm going to say let's see that list.
Situation log
And then we have sublight exploration probes. Before we developed faster-than-light travel, several sublight exploration probes were dispatched from GIELINOR at near-relativistic speeds towards nearby systems. The scientists who developed the probes naively included sensitive information about our culture in their memory cores as a form of greeting to alien civilizations. It has now been realized that this data could potentially be used against us. We need to track down these probes before they are found by someone or something unsympathetic to our species. They can't have gotten far. So it begins the sublight exploration probes event chain. Okay. And we do see that there is a shroud seal down here and a station of Samek aliens. Not entirely sure what that is, but we do see that we've made first contact. We have made first contact with mysterious aliens in the Estrion system. For now, we have codenamed them Samek aliens until we can find out more about them. If they possess a language, we should decipher it so that we can assess how much of a threat they pose. So we're going to say interesting, and we're going to move one of our envoys over there. In our next tradition, we have a new life. A new life awaits our citizens in the off-world colonies, a chance to begin again in a golden land of opportunity and adventure. With the help of an aggressive marketing campaign, the less fortunate elements of our society will be flocking to our colony ships. So we get pop growth speed plus 10%. There's never a reason not to take this, and we are going to take it. And this sterile world is 0% because it's sterile. There was never any chance of habitizing that. And yes, I know that's not a real world. A real world. Not a real word. But I said it anyway, and you can't stop me. So our empire, or emperor, can be leveled up, and we have 4 options. Logistic Understanding, Shipwright, Champion of the People, or Mining Rush. I'm going to take Mining Rush. Getting as many minerals as possible in the very beginning could never be bad. Matter of fact, go ahead and sell off our excess credits and food. And buy some minerals. And we are going to build up on GIELINOR similar. There we go. That's all we can build for now. Let's build ourselves a research lab, and then we'll come back to that later. The base of operations has been set up on the surface of Caledonia, and several teams are now en route to the various anomaly sites that our scanners picked up. The significance of this mystery is simply unparalleled, and the scientific community is absolutely buzzing with theories and anticipation over what will be uncovered by the excursion teams. This is exciting. We get 250 minor artifacts and a clue. There we go. And we have a new tradition. I'm going to take Reach for the Stars because it's the only one we can do. Thank you, thank you. And we can go ahead and start building our colony ship. So let's do that. It's going to be Varrockian, of course. The Sun can be leveled up. We can give him Warlike for ship weapon damage and army damage, Defense Engineer for defense platform damage and ship platform hull points, or Skirmisher for ship weapon damage and sublight speed. These are all for Council, and I think we are going to do Skirmisher. This leader prefers to skirmish against their opponents before engaging them in fair combat. So we'll say okay. And then our Minister of State can be leveled up. We can give them Principled or Politician. Council agenda speed is always good. I'm going to take Politician. We'll go ahead and dismiss these. And our constructions over here are done. You go ahead and build that mining station. And we are going to get a 3rd science ship whenever we get the chance. And we're going to start sending them north. There's absolutely no reason to be expanding only in one direction. First contact event pending. We have picked up readings of unknown nature. The signals seem to follow some kind of repeating syntax which could indicate sapient origin. It should be investigated further. They seem to be concentrated around a single space station, though it is unclear whether this forms part of a larger spacefaring civilization. Proceed. It advances and we still don't know much about them. But the difficulty is normal, so hopefully it won't take too long. We finished charting Paraga, and we could go down there to study that M-class star, but since we don't know much about these people, I think I'm just going to go around them for the time being. Bring the military with us, even though if we do encounter something, there won't be much we can do about it. Go ahead and build that starbase. New traditions, we can take Courier Network. A network of small courier vessels is a reliable alternative for transporting VIPs or delivering messages that can't be trusted to FTL communications. This will tie our far-flung colonies more closely together. Empire size from systems and colonies, both minus 15%, and Galactic Ambition. The banner of our great empire will one day be as common as hydrogen throughout the galaxy. This one's going to be better earlier than this will be, so I'm going to take Galactic Ambition. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. We're going to take Galactic Ambition. Thank you, thank you. And we have an archaeological site event pending. Most excursion teams have reached their destinations and reported back. Artifacts buried in the ground have been uncovered. Head scientist Sir Tor Salvius describes them as highly accurate galactic laser pointers, ancient machines that are emitting a strong, tight ultraviolet beam out into space for purposes unknown. It's a bittersweet discovery, the profound, exhilarating importance of alien artifacts countered by their seemingly arbitrary purpose. So we get an ancient laser pointer and 50 minor artifacts. A highly accurate beam projector that can mark celestial bodies from distances on the galactic scale. Left behind by the benefactors, this ultraviolet laser is notable as concrete evidence of a bygone civilization. Remarkably, it still works. So if we put this in the exhibit, we get trade from jobs. Meh. I mean, maybe in the future, but for right now, just meh. Let's go ahead and sell off our energy credits and our food and buy some minerals. Thank you, thank you. We're going to go over to GIELINOR and we're going to build up an alloy foundry and a civilian industry. There we go. We have discovered Zro. The VRS Poponius Mela has discovered a previously unknown strategic resource dubbed Zro in the Chohar system. It is a rare aerosol of unknown origin, and when ingested, it enhances the abilities of psionically gifted individuals. We cannot extract this resource yet, but we could establish control over the system for future exploitation. We are sure to find more of these types of resources as we continue to explore the galaxy, each with unique properties and applications. Potentially useful. We will come back to that later. We finished constructing that starbase. We will do 3 mining stations. Thank you, thank you. And this colony ship is ready. Can we build that new science ship? I think we need 100 alloys. Wrong system, first of all. Wrong button, second of all. Yeah, we do need 100 alloys. We'll go ahead and buy those. And we'll wait 1 more month. And we will get that science ship built. So we're going to need a 3rd colonist. But for right now, that's okay. Alright, alright. This science ship is ready. We'll get a new scientist. We have no choice but to take Tolus Decius. And he will be moving north to Drom. Alright. Can't level him up yet, but that's fine. We have an anomaly here. Impressive structures litter a small area on the surface of Chohar B3, practically begging for some archaeological work. So we'll investigate that. And archaeological site event pending. Despite our best efforts, the excavation and analysis of the alien indicators on the surface have failed to deliver any relevant result. The archaeological teams have calculated and followed the paths of the alien signal beams, but nothing is being pointed at other than empty space. Scientist Servor Salvius has requested more time, convinces something has been missed by the science teams. We get 50 minor artifacts. But the difficulty now is just easy. Very good. Tradition available, we will take Courier Network, and we can take our first Ascension perk. So we have a lot of these, and I'm going to go over the ones that I'm most interested in. Or actually, you know what? We'll go through all of them. We have time. Abyssinian Motion. This gives Empire Size effect, Tradition cost from Empire Size, and Monthly Unity. Consecrated Worlds, which we didn't see in the last season. The galaxy is home to many holy places, some more obvious than others. As mortals, we still struggle to divine the true nature of the universe. We unlock the decision to consecrate a world. Consecrating uninhabited planets up to 3 increases spiritualist ethics attraction and empire-wide amenities, as well as unity generation, scaling to the spiritual significance of the worlds consecrated. I'm not entirely sure how that works. We'll skip it for now. Executive Vigor. There will be no half measures or compromises when implementing the edicts decided upon by our government. We go all the way or not at all. We get Edict Fun and Council Agenda Speed. Favored Equilibrium. Empire Size effect and Empire Size from colonies. Gazalian Revelations, civic slots and everyone's opinion of us increased by 20. Imperial Prerogative, Empire Size from colonies and official capacity. Interstellar Dominion, Starbase Influence Cost, Claim Influence Cost, and Empire Size from systems. Lord of War, Enclave Capacity, Diplomatic Weight from Fleet Power, and Mercenary Enclaves under our patronage pay more frequent dividends. Mastery of Nature, Clear Blocker Cost, Chance for Blocker Clearing Research Options, and unlocks Decision Mastery of Nature for 2 max districts and max resource districts from planetary features plus 50%. Nihilistic Acquisition, which is new. The notion of self-determination cannot be a moral absolute. Holistic goals clearly outweigh individual concerns. Unlocks the raiding bombardment stance, which in turn allows us to abduct pops from besieged planets and resettle them to our own worlds. One Vision, which is monthly unity and governing ethics attraction. Shared Destiny, subject specialization conversion time, available envoys, and subjects event from divided patronage. And Technological Ascendancy enables research-focused policies and chance for rare research options. And Transcendent Learning, leader experience gain, leader upkeep, and scientist capacity. we are going to take Interstellar Dominion, because we want to expand as quickly as possible. Alright, very, very good. Not much to do with you for now, but I will leave you here. And you are surveying there. So actually, I will send the construction ship up there, because I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot you exist. Comet Lost. Tityaclodius Comet has been making rounds through the JAWS system for thousands of years and was repeatedly seen in the sky of GIELINOR throughout Varrockian history. However, our astronomers inform us that it has finished its incredibly complex path and left the confines of the system forever. It is now beyond the tracking range of our sensors and is not projected to return to charted space for many millennia. We will follow it to the distant worlds. We get 40 Unity.
Construction.
Pretty bad, honestly. We get almost that much every month. Abandoned Amusement Park. The structures of Chohar B3 are not as old as we first believed. It is a playground or amusement park of some sort. Science Officer Lucia Canelia notes that many of the contraptions are highly complex creations that we can learn much from, and that, from the builder's alien point of view, this might have been a cutting-edge sensor array or even a gigantic art installation. Regardless, to us Varrockians, it looks mostly like a place where you would take your young and let them amuse themselves. So we get 350 society research, 500 engineering research, and the spiraling attraction. I don't know why it lagged there. I was honestly kind of worried it was going to crash. A large and complex contraption theorized to be designed for amusement. This winding installation was abandoned in an area housing many similar structures of various colors and material. Descending along its coiled path within a specific level of gravity is said to be thrilling. This gives infrastructure build speed. Which honestly, you know what? That would be pretty good.
Star system
I will keep that in mind. We finished charting this system, so I'm going to go down to this one. Honestly, it's really bright and it looks kind of scary, but I'm going to ignore how scary it looks for the time being. Let's go ahead. Oh, I thought we were done building these. I'm going to build the basic mines, and then we're done there. We can build a temple. I'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll come back to this later. We get ourselves powered exoskeletons. Very good. And now we have improved Corvette hulls, ceramic metal materials, or nanomechanics. I am going to take improved Corvette hulls. Extremophile life forms. A deep scan of Chohar 1A revealed that in the depths of this volcanic planet, a gigantic network of caves was discovered, inhabited by creatures capable of withstanding even very high temperatures. Some of these organisms grow to enormous sizes and have a protective external skeleton that allows them to navigate lava flows. We get 3 society research per month from Chohar 1A. After successfully translating their language, we have established communications with the independent space station of the Echoless Vigil. Let's see if they want to talk.
Foreign power is hailing us.
Greetings. I speak to you as a representative of the Echoless Vigil. Our mission is to protect against the menace of the Shroud and all those who spread its ill effects. We believe in minds free from invasion and a galaxy forfeited against psionics. Judging by our psi sensor readings, you do not contribute to these threats. Excellent. We would be pleased to help you protect against anyone that does. If you need any anti-psionic military services or have Zero to dispose of, let us assist you. What is the Shroud? The Shroud can best be described as a dimension of reality that exists beyond ordinary perception. It is composed entirely of harmful psionic energy. It touches every part of our physical galaxy, yet many do not actively perceive it. The Shroud's energies can manifest in the physical realm through the cognitive activity of sentient beings. These forces are extremely dangerous and unpredictable. Ensuring your population's safety requires protective measures against the Shroud. To that end, we can provide help. This would have been really nice to have in our last campaign. We would like to discuss Zro. Excellent. Entrusting us with Zro enables crucial research into this powerful and widely abused substance, research that will benefit the whole galaxy. This is why our rate for its purchase is well above the galactic standard. What is Zro? Zro is a rare, highly unstable substance, the effects of which are difficult to control and predict. Intentionally or not, it can cause violent bursts of energy that wreak destruction on a massive scale. These properties are produced through reactions with the Shroud, making it popular among psionic practitioners, some of whom ingest it as a drug. We aim to learn more about Zro and to research methods for its safe disposal. That is why we pay handsomely for any quantity brought to us. We will consider something else. We need help with crime among us. Then let us provide you with an effective thought police, which can detect criminal intent before it manifests in actual behavior. Their methods were developed as a safe alternative to psionic practices, using scientific techniques to monitor a population's cognitive activity. They provide insights on mental states without employing the dangerous energies of the Shroud. That's, nice. Then we can say recruit the Thought Police. It requires 1,000 energy credits and 50 influence, and we get 1 colony decision for Thought Police, and our opinion goes up by 30. That sounds terrible. So we're just going to say we would consider something else. And we can't take, we know of a good psionic target, pay the Mind Wardens to raid a psionic empire we know of. We need to have established contact with a psionic empire, and we must have more than 5,000 energy credits, as well as an influence stockpile above 50. Good to know. And with that discovery, I think that would be a good place to go ahead and end episode 1. So guys, thanks so much for coming out to this episode. I hope you did enjoy, and if you did, please make sure to leave a like and a comment in the comment section down below, and consider subscribing if you're new. My name is Caitlin, you guys are amazing, and I will see you in the next one.